Big shout to okjersey.com. Scan the QR code below and actually go to the link below to get affordable football shirts from all the European leagues, including the English clubs, all of them, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, all of them, of course, are all there. You can get the current ones, past seasons, and also some absolute gems out there, vintage ones, and actually very affordable football shirts, high quality, like the one I'm wearing right here. It is very simple to get one. Let me show you how. You go to the website. It's very simple. You click on the Premier League, pick the club you want. For me, I pick Newcastle, for example. You go there, you will find all the current ones, training ones as well. You add whatever you want to the cart. Of course, check the sizes, add a patch, add to cart, but also never forget, as it says below, scan the QR code and put the code JUDGE in the checkout to get 8% discount. It's that easy. Just go to the website, check the football shirt you want. You will not regret it. Now, let's get back to our stream. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to your Premier League Unfiltered podcast on Friday, of course, on Footy Judge Mo. We're talking about Chelsea turmoil, of course. We're talking about the new manager, you know what I mean, of Chelsea, which is, it looks like it's Matisse. Of course, we all know Matisse, and it looks like it's Matisse. Arsenal are 4 points clear of Manchester City, and Manchester City fans are still confident of absolutely winning the Premier League. How do Arsenal fans feel? Of course, people. And Spurs, I actually want to ask a question, but once Mark gets here, are Spurs project more in line with a team that wants to win the league than Chelsea? To be honest, that would be my main question today for people, actually, which is, we got Mark. Jamie Story is going to be joining us. We have, guys, if you are not familiar with the panel that we have on Friday, we got Neil up there ripping Arsenal. We got Mark ripping Chelsea. He's still saying that they're going to finish above Arsenal. They actually can win the Premier League, of course. Mark, they are both channels. they both in the Frenemies. If you guys haven't checked them, Frenemies podcast, brilliant channel. They do absolutely amazing videos, and they have amazing shorts on Instagram as well. They absolutely do fantastic work. So go and support the boys there. They do great work. They're trying to build the channel, the Frenemies podcast. They are in the description as well. And Jim from the famous channel Also Spurs, one of the most reasonable Spurs channels out there. Of course, love Thomas Frank, and they love Spurs, and they love everything about it. And we're going to be having Jamie Story on with us. Let's start by one. I know but guys, we got over 300 people here and we're only 5 minutes in the show. Hit the like button. I got a poll there to see if people actually like the video. We already have 50. So hit that like button. I don't like videos, but you like live shows. That's why you like the video. You know what I mean? That's why you like the videos. And also we're going to talk about Liverpool, of course. And they're missing Mohamed Salah. It's Michael Owen and what's his name said. But actually, I want to start with the question. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Happy New Year to everyone.
It's a loaded question, isn't it, Mo? I can tell.
Happy New Year, Mo.
Happy holidays. Good year for Arsenal. Okay year for Spurs. 8 unbeaten for Liverpool. Happy New Year, Mark. Are you all right?
I don't know. Why'd you keep doing that? Stop doing that. I'm good.
Mark's doing great. You can tell.
Yeah, Mark, you're absolutely great. Let me ask a question. Listen, I wanna do this. Spurs, they're keeping Thomas Frank. Chelsea, let's start with this quickly. Which club is going in the right direction, people?
Does one have to be going in the right direction, the other not, or can both be veering off on different incorrect courses? Because I kind of feel like neither of us are heading in a direction which takes them closer to a title, but maybe Chelsea were kind of like going down the right road and just imploded in a big crash, whereas Spurs have just been slowly wobbling along with a flat tire the whole time and are still kind of doing that. It's just kind of like one's the slow train coming towards you and the other one's just kind of just gone off suddenly and imploded.
I think that's spot on. That's spot on.
Chelsea,
I mean, everything.
Were Chelsea going down the right road?
Everything will look rosy after the draw against Arsenal. We won a few games. We had clean sheets, and then
the win against Arsenal. The 1-1 win.
Yeah.
The 1-1 win against Arsenal.
I'm gonna have to take it. Yeah, sure, a win. That's the only thing I'm gonna take today. So yeah, a win. Yeah, I don't know. It's just capitulated. It's all gone Pete Tong. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, I just feel like there's no direction. The trust is lost. There's no identity. It's the first time I've ever felt like this. I feel like the soul.
You guys weren't saying this just last week or the week before.
Saying what exactly?
You guys weren't saying these things just the week before or 2 weeks ago. You guys weren't saying these things. Like, it's not only you, Mark. I'm here talking to also other Chelsea fans. You guys weren't saying this. You guys were saying that the benchmark is not Arsenal. We're not looking up at Arsenal. Our team is better. We got the youth. We got the players that are coming up. That the club is doing this. The club is doing that. Sure, sacking the manager, is it the end of this team? The team is still good. Like, the team itself, it's still good.
Yeah, I mean, the team, but who is going to manage the team, Mo?
Doesn't matter. Like, just maybe.
Of course it matters. Of course it matters. What are you talking about? They're about to bring in Liam Rosenior. What's he done?
I'm going to tell you. What has Maresca done before he joined Chelsea? Nothing. Managing failed at Parma, got sacked, managing the championship, and people told us they did the research. So, and you liked Maresca, right? Am I wrong? Did you like Maresca or you didn't?
No. I wasn't the biggest fan. I wasn't the biggest fan of Maresca. But it's very hard to judge Maresca. I mean, I could list out all the flaws that he had. That's all fine. But well and truly, how well can we judge Maresca? Because how much control has he actually had over this team? He's already come in to be the yes man. He's already agreed that he's not going to have any says in the transfers. And now there's rumors coming out that he's not even allowed to pick the team. Right? The board are the ones that are instructing Maresca to heavily rotate. And he wants to play his best players. So how can we really judge Maresca? How much control has he actually had over the club or his team?
The medical team was saying that you can't rotate. That's not the same as
let me show you. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if you've seen this. But it's not only the medical team. I'm not sure if people have seen this. People in the chat, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. This is actually an article. These are sources that are confirmed. This is it. Maresca has often felt scapegoated by the media for 4 performances and bad results, especially when he has been essentially told to rotate, to develop new talent and satisfy agents who in recent weeks have been calling up Chelsea sporting directors to ask why their clients haven't been given minutes and trust they ought to be and told that they will get. I mentioned this, by the way, a year ago, where I said there are some rotations that happen at Chelsea that don't make any sense. There are some decisions that I am sure that Maresca wouldn't be making on his own. Someone is telling him to play this guy or play that guy for the value to go up. 100% that has happened.
But that goes back to what I'm saying. Like, how can you judge Maresca? He has no control.
But
He
does have control, though.
He doesn't.
Okay.
He doesn't have control.
I can't really
let me give you an
if
example.
it's good or not.
When your goalkeeper goes mental at Old Trafford and he gets sent off.
He didn't go mental again. He didn't go mental. The media made it like he went mental. He didn't go mental. He went out like there's plenty. Neil, there's plenty of goalkeepers that get records.
But Mo, he got sent off, right? When he gets sent off, this is the point isn't the fact that whether he went mental or not. The point is he got sent off. At that point, what did Maresca do? He took off
but
your
he's
front three of your front four, right?
But he's learning.
At Old Trafford. Who's making that decision though? So he does have an element of control.
Management is questions. His starting 11 is
sources
questions.
that need to be checked whether how much control he has on picking.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the rotation, you have to play that guy or you have to play this guy. You know what I mean? Like it sometimes it doesn't make sense to me that there are some certain decisions that are being taken on the pitch to actually showcase a player so they can sell him in the summer or in January or get more money. That doesn't make any sense.
But do you think
whose decision was it to take off Cole Palmer against Bournemouth?
The medical team.
The medical team.
You said it yourself. He didn't want to take off Cole Palmer. Those are the rumors. We're only going to know by fact when later on down the line Enzo Maresca has an interview and then all these. But we don't know the ins and outs. These are all rumors at the moment. So
the challenge Chelsea have, though, Mark, from what I see outside of your circle of like being a fan, is whatever you guys. So Pochettino left and made a kind of dig at the leadership and the challenges there. Maresca's done the same thing.
Yes.
So it just looks like there's a pattern emerging there. That means, like, what if you look at the other managers in the league, I think most of them in the top echelon of managers would have walked out of that scenario if someone said you're not allowed to play that player next week or they've got to come off the 45th minute. Yeah. I'm not sure many would stand for it. Pep certainly wouldn't stand for that, I'm pretty sure. Arteta, don't think he's the type to stand for it. He likes, control of his vision and everything else. I can't think of many managers that would stand for it.
But there are zero managers that have reputation and experience that would come to a team like Chelsea.
But the question that I want to ask is that you guys, Chelsea fans in the chat, I know that, Mark, you are in the minority. There's a lot of people that like Maresca. I think Maresca is a good coach, right?
So do I.
He's a good coach. I think he doesn't have the experience to manage big teams because there are situations in game that you need to learn, which is, I think he was learning. But what is saying that the new guy is not going to be the same? Is not going to be as good? Why?
Who? Liam Rosenior?
Yeah. So Maresca, when he joined, he was nobody, with all due respect. Rosenior is nobody.
No. You can't say that because look, he won the championship with Leicester. Okay, they had the most experienced team. They had the biggest players with the most amount of Premier League experience. That's fair. He's also been an understudy to Pep Guardiola for a couple of years. So he's worked under arguably the greatest manager in club football. What's Liam Rosenior done? He's managed Hull. He's managed Strasbourg in his second season, which he finished 7th or 8th last season.
I haven't, by the way, Mark, I never heard about the guy until yesterday. I promise you.
Don't lie to me because a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned Liam Rosenior already. Go back and check the stream.
I swear to God.
I already mentioned it a couple of weeks ago.
Hands on Quran here. Hands on my Quran. I swear to God, I've never, I didn't know this guy. I didn't know he manages Strasbourg. Bro, I am telling you.
I'm going to pull up a stream that you did a couple of weeks ago and I mentioned it. Otherwise, you clearly wasn't listening to me.
Probably I wasn't listening to the name. You mentioned Strasbourg, and I'm like, I never heard of that name. Now the name is engraved. Reservoir or whatever. What's his name?
Now you were talking about a left winger or something. He's only just realized.
What's his name?
Liam Rosenior.
Exactly. Liam Rosenior.
Exactly.
This guy played football in the Premier League, right?
Ooh, that's great,
man.
That's freaking great. I don't know. View him. Look, they view him as.
Can I ask you? You think you overrate your team a little bit, the players? Do you guys think that?
No,
Is
I
the
don't.
team overrated?
No, I don't. Because if you want me to quickly go through it, Reece James is top 2 right backs in the world. Are you going to disagree with that?
Based on what you think?
Okay, Cucurella's top 3 left backs in the world. Are you going to disagree with that?
Yeah, I do. But fine.
Anyways, I'm not even going to take that.
But Mark, if you said top 5 for both, I think no one's going to disagree with that.
Reece James probably. Reece James for me is probably one of the most talented right backs I've seen lately.
But last week you said he's not a right back; he's a midfielder.
Maho, that's the problem. So you have the best right back out there, and you're playing him in the middle. Have you guys noticed?
Are you going to blame Maresca?
Can you imagine Arsenal have one of the best centre backs in Gabriel, and they're playing Gabriel as a left winger?
Yeah.
And then but he's the best right back. He's the best centre back in the world. Yeah, but he's not playing right back. So.
But I'm not overrating my team. Look, we still got Cole Palmer in the FIFA World Cup.
No, but hold on.
Still got Caicedo.
Caicedo's great, right? Caicedo's great. But he went downhill. Enzo Fernandez, downhill. Cole Palmer is back now for 7 games. Played 60, 70. That's 6 games, sorry. And he hasn't been good.
Yeah, but the context for that, Mo.
Joe Pedro's what context?
Yeah, look, we don't know if Cole Palmer's fit or not. They could just be being heavily reliant on him. We don't know the context of that. So look, I get it. He's looked very rusty since he's come back. But I could easily say to you, is he
Pedro Neto Roadrunner is fantastic lately.
Yeah, he is fantastic. I don't even know if you're trolling me, because I actually do believe Pedro Neto is fantastic.
Fantastic is a stretch, bro.
I mean, that's all subjective. That's fair enough. For Chelsea,
fantastic.
He slots into my first 11. Okay. He's got Chelsea so many points this season.
I could make it first 11 though.
Sorry?
I could make it first 11.
Oh, shut up, Neil. Shut up and talk nonsense. We'll come over to your team later.
I don't know, Mo. I don't know if we're asking the right question. We say, okay, we just gone. You made a statement earlier. Well, you made a statement earlier saying, Maresca, he's a good coach. Okay,
I like him.
And then we're going, are we overrating the players? Or I suppose if you flip it and go, maybe the players are good. Let me land. So if you looked at when our current first 11 first started playing under Arteta, Gabriel, was he the best centre back in the world at the time? No. Saliba, was he the best? No. Was Timber the best right back in the world, or one of the best right backs in the league? No. He started left back for us, actually. Calafiore, David Raya, you can say what he wants. Has Declan Rice, has he improved, stayed the same?
David Raya, by the way, is one of the main improvements under Mikel Arteta, by the way.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But, some people may or may not. Either way.
Declan Rice,
I think he's
not this.
I think he's improved. I think he's got better under. I think Bukayo Saka's got better under Arteta. My point being then, we look at the Chelsea players. Have we got enough talent in this Chelsea team? And if so, is the question, are we overrating Chelsea players, or are we overrating Maresca as a coach? It's his job. Like these players were nobody before Arteta put them on the map. A lot of these players, not all of them, but a lot of them. So part of Maresca's job is to get the best out of these players. Is he getting the best out of these players? Because we know how good Cole Palmer is, potential and talent-wise. You can't tell me you don't, Mo. You know how good Cole Palmer is, not based on the one season.
Phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Your eye test. Exactly. So is the blame, are we overrating Cole Palmer, or are we overrating Maresca as a coach?
I think it's fair to say that he's working within a really difficult environment, and he's also not the most experienced manager. So when those two things collide, you see mistakes and learnings going on that you're just not going to get the patience to get in the Premier League. Because at Chelsea, whatever you think of their squad, I feel they've got a better squad than they've obviously got a better squad than Sunderland just behind them, and they've got a better squad than Villa. They should be comfortably saying, yeah, 4th spot in the league is ours. And if we want to overperform and challenge someone above that, that's within our realms of possibility. But at the moment, since that Barcelona win, I feel like they haven't fulfilled that potential at all in their performances on the pitch. And the Chelsea fans have seen it, right? And they're calling it out as well. As Chelsea fans, they've seen title winnings of sides of different types. And a mate of mine who's a season ticket holder there said, every title winning side we've had, you have experienced defense and you can get away with some youth in your attack. But we just don't have the right balances of experience and youth in this side. And that's right the way through to the touchline. So when you've got an inexperienced manager who doesn't have some big senior John Terry type figure in the defense telling people how to manage certain game situations, it falls apart in key moments, and you draw games you should win and you lose games you should draw. I feel that's kind of the situation Chelsea are in.
But can I tell you something? Mikel Arteta played with a Bozo Gabriel and a 21 years old William Saliba, and was able to put together a defense that actually sustained, not winning, the title. And they didn't have the massive blip that Chelsea have. Mikel Arteta had Zinchenko and Ben White, like a transformed centre-back, player right back. And they were able to actually keep at least consistency. That is what Neil is talking about. Gabriel was a bozo. We all know this. He was labeled as a guy that has mistakes in him, right? William Saliba was at 21 years old. And Ben White wasn't right. Ben White wasn't a right back. Let's just establish that. And Zinchenko was a guy that gets cooked every now and then.
Yeah,
but exactly. He sustained that. That's Neil's point. By the way, that's what Neil's talking about. I like Maresca. A good coach will be able to make a system that works. I actually like Maresca as a coach in terms of like the tactical stuff, in terms of reading some games before the game. But in-game management, having a consistent system, he wasn't the best. Like, he wasn't one of the best. But still, he's still early for him. I thought he's going in the right direction. But you will never ever succeed under this ownership and this sporting director. It will never happen. Chelsea, Matisse said it yesterday. Big up, Jamie. What happened? We saw you looking for the mic. Anyway, let me just say this, guys. Matisse said it. Chelsea are staring at irrelevancy, which is one of the most dangerous things, being irrelevant. Because that means that the culture change, the players are coming in, and they're not all this Club World Cup, Conference League, Carabao Cup wins. That is not what makes you relevant. What makes you relevant is challenging for Champions Leagues in the Premier League, right? And it's not me. It's Matisse who said the irrelevancy. Know what I mean? It's not me. It's like, because what are Chelsea's objectives now? What are the objectives?
Yeah. Success is top 4 for Chelsea. Make a profit on players.
No, that's it. To make a profit. I mean, it's no longer being run as a football club, is it? It's being run as a business, as a trading entity. It's proof that this model just doesn't work. It's impossible to work, and everyone's now seeing how difficult the job is. You know, they're bringing in managers who are basically, you might as well bring in your PE teacher from your school. Chelsea can no longer be considered kings of London or serial winners. Those phrases, those titles, they're all gone. And I don't see that coming back under this ownership, because it's all about money. But I also think they're doing stupid things. Like, they still haven't got a front. If their sole, goal is to make money, they haven't even got like a front of shirt sponsor yet. So they're leaving millions on the table, which I don't get. So, and then there's so much, they're trying to get this new development of a new stadium. Nothing's happening with that. So it's just a joke. Chelsea's just a joke club at the moment.
Should the players leave though?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, what's Cole Palmer think? He's going to have Liam Rosenior come. He's going to, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. If I'm a Chelsea player, I'd want to leave, because it's whatever is being sold to these players about this project hasn't panned out. Yeah, because every new manager that's coming under Clear Lake, under this whatever, blue, whatever, it's saying to them, Yeah, every it's going to take us a couple of years. A new manager comes in, yeah, another couple of years. A new manager comes in, and so on and so forth. So that's always going to be the tagline. It's never going to work out.
Yeah, I want to ask Jamie this if he's with us, and because Jamie's from outside. Jamie, who's going in a better direction, Tottenham Hotspur or Chelsea? You're muted.
Your mic's muted, Jamie. No.
He's muted.
Clearly,
I guess I can feel the noise while he's trying to get Jamie back.
Yeah.
I feel like
because one of them is going into one of them is going into the direction they think. We're not going to talk about Spurs, but I said that I don't think I will ever see Spurs win a title in my lifetime before I die. Right? I said that. Right? It's a same. I don't think I will ever see Brighton win a title like in my lifetime. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe, but it doesn't look like it. But in the direction, which one is going in the right direction?
Well, I'd say there's two differences between the two clubs at the moment. I think Spurs, whatever we think of their ownership at the moment, they've said and they've been outwardly saying our ambition now has changed. It is to win trophies now. That is what we're trying to do.
Okay.
They're not executing on it well, but they are in a more sustainable business model because they're reliant on multiple revenue streams, not just selling players. And that was the legacy that Daniel Levy left behind, that they can afford to have a few crappy seasons and still continue to spend money quite aggressively in the winter and summer transfer windows, which I think allows them to make more mistakes and get away with it, even though they're still getting it wrong. And I still think their recruitment's not great. So, and I do feel there's a genuine desire to try and win stuff and not flip players for profits. I don't think that's our goal at the moment. Our goal is to make Spurs more valuable as a club and sell it for an extra billion than what it's worth now or whatever it is. So I feel there's perhaps a little bit more intent to focus on trophies as an outcome at Spurs, but that doesn't mean... But Chelsea then have the experience of how to win titles. I know they got rid of a lot of people.
Not this team, by the way. This team has never won a title.
Okay, I mean backroom staff. I mean, like,
they're completely new. They're completely new. They're new people.
They got rid of most of them. I don't know. Maybe Mark knows more.
By the way, the culture of this Chelsea, the culture of this Chelsea is not the same.
Jim, it's done. They've not had a title challenge for 10 years, mate. It's not. It's a complete. I know what you're saying. They know how to win titles, but we might as well be saying, Man United know how to win titles.
True. Yeah.
It's not. That's not the same Chelsea as before. It's not.
I don't see this Chelsea team winning another league. The only thing which I can hope as a Chelsea fan is that in the near future, hopefully, the board switch their strategy and think, you know what, it's not working. We can possibly.
Why would they do that? Why would they do this?
Because think about it, yeah. You get more money if you win trophies. Their goal is to make money. So you get more money if you finish top than the second, and so on and so forth. You get more money. You get 100 million for winning the Champions League. Yeah. So you make more money by performing better. That's another revenue stream. There's another way to make money. So I'm hoping that in a couple of years' time, hopefully sooner rather than later, Chelsea go, it's not working. Let's go back to a winning formula where this club has had success before.
They'll be forced into it. Yeah, they'll be forced into it, Mark.
Yeah, and that's that's what I'm hoping. So I don't, unless they change their strategy, as crazy as it sounds, Tottenham probably have a bigger chance of winning the league. But I'm just pinning my hopes that they come to their senses.
But if you finish top 5, top 4, get Champions League, Mark, that to them will represent success because you'll get money just for finishing the Champions League spot.
And if we don't,
I'm saying is exactly, it's going to be forced because the way you're going, you ain't, and you're going backwards. You're going backwards fast.
We are going backwards,
and so that will enforce a change because if you have 2 seasons without Champions League football, that will jolt them. They're not going to care if you finish 5th this season. They'll be like, success. So
You're totally right.
I think it will be forced. I think they will change strategy because it'll be forced, Mo.
Hopefully, we finish 12th.
Wasn't Bowley? Wasn't Bowley? Am I making this up? Wasn't it last year? There was rumours that he was under pressure, and Clear Lake were considering putting another figurehead in charge.
Absolutely.
On decisions. So, isn't there an opportunity? Opportunity is probably the wrong word. But isn't there a chance that just rears its head again in the next, short-term period, and they just chuck someone else in charge and everything changes again?
That's what I'm hoping, because right now Egbali is the one who's making all the major decisions, including all the football decisions, and it's clearly not working. I think that sacking Maresca and hiring Liam Rosenior is the biggest disrespect to Chelsea fans. It's basically a big fuck you. We bought the club. We're buying the players. This is our money. Yeah, I don't give a shit about you, Chelsea fans. This is business.
So what do you think the solution is?
The solution is get rid of Egbali.
No. How do you do that? How do you do this?
Well, I don't know. There's a board. You have a board meeting. Egbali is let's get an actual sporting director.
But Egbali is part of the ownership. You can't get rid of him. He's a majority shareholder there.
You have to wait till he sells.
Wait till he sells, or wait till he has other businesses which take more of his time.
Everyone in the chat that is saying, all the Chelsea fans, and you all say the same thing, get rid of the sporting directors. These guys are the shareholders. These guys own the club.
But that's why we say we're not going to win anything with these shareholders, with this board.
The only way to do this, that's my opinion, the only way to do this, if the next Chelsea game, nobody shows up in the stadium. No one. And I mean 50% of the fans don't show up.
Protests don't work though.
They do. Because always they go to the stadium.
That hits them though.
United are protesting the last 20 years and the Glazers are still lapping up all the money. They don't care. They're over in their penthouses in America. They're not listening. They don't even know they don't know anything about what is going on at the football club. Yes, you can be vocal, but in this era of football, it's not like they're owned by, say, millionaires that are from the local area where you can really get on top of them. They're like, we're like ants to them. They don't know.
But Jamie, most saying the biggest noise you can make here is silence. He's basically saying the stadium needs to be empty.
Stadium needs to be empty. The stadium needs to be empty.
Yeah.
The people that go to the stadium, and the stadium is small enough. And as far as I know, from the people that go to the stadium, like Lewis, Don, and then Chaz, and all these, and Nina, and all these guys, there is a communication that can happen. That Chelsea season ticket holders can choose not to go. They can choose to not go. Once you don't go, this is the noise you gotta make. Otherwise, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen, because the ownership are going to keep doing the same thing. And as Mark said, it's just fuck you. This is our club. We'll do whatever. It's not yours. That's the reality. And there has to be something to be done about this club, because the club is going. It's going into a phase that I have never seen before. A big football club goes to. Only Inter. We went through this because we were bought by. There's a loan and stuff like this, and that happens. But we still were trying to win. These guys are not. We didn't sack and hire managers like this. This guy, whatever his name is, Liam whatever, Rosenior, who is he to coach Chelsea Football Club? He's nobody. He's no one.
I don't think.
Yeah, who are they going to get? No one.
Imagine he turned them down. That's even worse.
Imagine he goes to City, he wins, then goes see.
You know, he can't turn. He's their employee at Strasbourg.
Yeah, I know.
They can fire him from Strasbourg if he turns them down.
It does summarize the change, doesn't it? Because only 3 years ago, Chelsea could pretty much handpick any manager as long as they weren't managing Real Madrid, Liverpool, City. They're probably going to join Chelsea. And now we're saying there's probably not a Premier League manager in the top half of the table who would take the risk right now with the amount of uncertainty around,
I don't even think Frank Lampard would come back. I don't think Cesc Fabregas would ever consider managing Chelsea. You're going to have to find an unknown name, which is what they're doing. Which is a shame.
Do you think Glasner will go there?
Never. He's not allowed. A Chelsea manager are not allowed to pick the team. I do truly believe that.
Yeah, but just with Glasner, obviously coming down. I know he's obviously he's had issues with the Crystal Palace board as well. But like coming down to the last 6 months of his contract, he's not going to sign a new one, which is reported.
I would take it.
I know. Obviously, he doesn't have as much control as you'd want to, but I don't know if they put like a good pay package in front of him.
He's not going to allow to be able to pick the team. Maresca, that was one of the main gripes.
Chelsea goes on his CV. He gets a massive pay rise.
Yeah, that's
his stock doesn't get damaged. His stock's high at the moment. You go to Chelsea, you get fired in 18 months. You think, well, there's a shit show at Chelsea, guys. Everyone knows it. No one can succeed there. So Glasner's stock remains high. He gets a pay rise, and he's got Chelsea on his CV. And now he's got the doorway to big clubs. You know what? That's the flip side.
Yeah, and like Graham Potter went there, he's still getting a paycheck off Chelsea for getting sacked. You know what I mean? Like,
but they're not stupid. They're not stupid now, Jamie. They actually learn. They don't sign long-term contracts for the managers, and they actually have like clauses in the contracts and stuff like this, so they can actually part ways with them. Yeah. So they're learning.
But even if it's 3 years, Mo, right, and he gets sacked after 18 months, they still get a payout. Do you know what I mean? If he's earning 15 million a year, which maybe some Chelsea managers might get, but obviously Glasner will come with a certain pedigree, so he'll want a certain salary. Do you know what I mean? Whereas your man from Strasbourg, Rosenior, is that how you say his name?
Nobody knows.
How very cultured of you, Jamie.
Rosenior. Yeah, he obviously will come with a lower salary as well, which I remember I was on this stream a few weeks ago and I said Chelsea's priority is to make money, not to win trophies. Winning trophies is a secondary thought. I said that, and I remember the Chelsea fans in the comments, they were going mad. They were like, every club wants to make money and win trophies.
Mark here said no, he wants to win trophies.
No, I know. The fans, obviously, Mark. I don't think that you're going to sit there and say, I don't want to win trophies, I want to make money. That's not obviously a fan's prerogative. But in terms of a board, it's just like they want to make as much money as possible from these players. It doesn't matter whether like a player is good.
But they aren't making money. You know, Jamie. They aren't going to make money. They aren't.
No, but like, long term, they want to turn it into it like it's like trading stocks. Like if you have a player and he comes in
now they are paying
50 million, you sell him for 70 million, you're making money.
Yeah, but I think now they are not realizing that because of the success that Maresca did, they are paying top money for like Garnacho is going backwards. Who's going to pay 50, 60 million for Garnacho? Gittins. Who's going to pay more than 60 million for Gittins? Nobody's even going to pay 30.
He's not worth 10 million.
Yeah, but that's not what that's. So if they buy 10 players, and they like say 4 of them work out. So they bought Estevao for how much? 40 million? Could he go to Real Madrid in a few years for 150 million? 100%. Do you know what I mean? If they get a few worldies, then it works out. So that's what they're moving towards. They understand if you buy 20 players, not all of them are going to be unbelievable. You're going to have a few duds. But if you buy them young, relatively speaking, you can still sell them for a relatively good price. And that's what they understand. And that's why they're doing it.
Fair enough, but the players, I think they are. I'm not sure. Like to be honest, I'm looking at these players and I think they're good. You know what I mean? But
who are you talking
it's all about
Mo?
one player, then.
Who are you talking about? Who? Let's get to it though. Who are you saying that's overrated? Or like, I was in the rest of us are overrated.
I actually think that maybe the likes of Neto, João Pedro, like. Even Caicedo, I said Caicedo is one of the best DMs in the world, which is fine. But part of being that good is to be consistent, right? Like just part of being good is to be consistent on the pitch. Since the Arsenal game, I don't know what happened to the guy. He's not focused at all. You know what I mean? He's not focused in the games at all. He's getting yellow cards.
He had a bad game against Bournemouth, but I mean, Caicedo's he's got a bit of.
I know his quality. I know his quality. Caicedo
apart from 5 or 6 players at Chelsea, there's about 5 or 6 players that you can consider extremely talented, amazing players. But the rest of them,
would you count Trevor Chalobah in that? Would you count Trevor Chalobah in that? No. But can you make him? Can you make him? Can a good coach make him a good player?
No, I think he's peaked. I think he's.
You think he's got a ceiling that low that he can't be better than what we've seen?
Yeah, no, I think he's a very consistent. I think he gives 7 out of 10s in pretty much every game, apart from 1 or 2 games this season.
He can be coached to become a good player, man.
He could be. I think Fofana has a higher ceiling. I think Fofana is a much better defender, but I wouldn't put him in the 5 or 6 players that are amazing at Chelsea. But he is a great defender. He's not amongst the best. Yeah, but it's apart from those 5 or 6 players, the rest of the players at the club They're below average. And I'll compound that with the fact that Jim said about Maresca being young, inexperienced, hence why he's so inconsistent. And you marry that with the actual team who are so young, hence why it's just a shit show, and it's hence why the team plays so inconsistent. You said it already. You need to have some type of experience, at least throughout the spine. But they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me read these, and then I wanna speak a little bit about Spurs and what did they do. Chelsea are Argos catalog. Hit the likes, guys. Get the likes up. Over 500 people here. Can we get the likes up to 300 live today? Thank you so much. Of course, Sparks, for the super chat. Appreciate you so much for the support. Manchester come back from who? MC
Caicedo,
come back from suspension. Moises Caicedo come back from suspensions, then to get suspended again. Yeah, he's not gonna play Sunday against City, which is a big blow for Chelsea. Maybe Andre Santos can play, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like Spurs, guys. It's like, what is that? Is that club ever gonna be again challenging for the title? I can't make up my mind.
I mean, we've in the Premier League, we've only done it once. Challenge for a title. So I when you say it again, it's kind of like
challenge for top 4.
Yeah, how many years has the Premier League been going now? Is it 30? Is it 30? Yeah, about that.
Yeah, 33.
Yeah, 92, 34. Yeah.
3% of the time we challenge for a title historically. So when you say again, I kind of feel like, is there a world but there's a world in which Spurs can challenge for a title, but just not every season consistently. Like I see us as a club that when everything goes well at once, you have a couple of good players come through the academy, you have a good 2 or 3 windows in a row, you've got the money to retain your best players, layer on a few good signings, and on top of that, if the main serial winning clubs in the league are having not the best year, those are the years that everything falls into place.
So why? What can you tell me why? You have Kudus, you have Richarlison, you have Kolomouani, you have good players, right? Why aren't you up there? How can Sunderland be up there and you're not?
Well, like there's 2 extremes. It's like, even if Spurs are getting it all right, you still have to compete with clubs like City who have Haaland and Rodri, right? And we're not going to have that level.
No, I don't want you to compete. I want you to be just the level below, not like 5 levels below.
Spurs should, if they're run the way they are within their financial powers and everything else, they should be consistently in the top 6. They should be consistently saying,
thank you. Yes.
A decent year, an okay year is 5th and 6th. And we have some good years where we finish in the top 4. And then once every 10 years, we have an excellent year where we push for a title for that year. Or something like that. That's kind of how I see it. At the moment, we're definitely in the phase of, not being in that top 4.
Your level is like Fulham now. Your level is like Crystal Palace stuff. Fulham.
But we say that, but then everyone's so bad at the moment, like who normally should be in that bracket with us challenging. Like Man United are all over the place. Liverpool have gone from title challenges to really struggling.
Better than you. Well. Man United are better than you. You know that.
They are, but only after the 3rd year of Amorim, right? It's taken a long time for them just to get to slightly better than our mess now. I wouldn't say they're miles ahead. And financially, Spurs are in a better spot than them at the moment. So like, I don't think Spurs are out of that contention of just being a top 6 club just because of other people's incompetence that allows us to stay within that conversation.
How about Jim? If you get Pochettino and then you get the return of Harry Kane, and like you said, you're still buying,
and then Jim wakes up.
Good players.
Yeah, then I wake up.
You're still buying good players like Kudos, etc. So, what would you think? Like, would you make top 6?
Yeah, I think we'd probably just be 5th, pushing on for top 4, hoping that one of the other top 4 clubs has a bad season so we can nip in there and take that
That'll
spot.
Be great. You get more money. You're in the Champions League. You attract more players. You're spending money. That's the good thing.
And like I don't think we've got awful players in the squad. Like, again, Frank's getting loads of stick at the moment for his really negative football. And I get it. It's been so hard to watch. But, and I think we had the same debate as you, Mark, was saying earlier. I think when you're in a bad rut, and Jamie, you've had it recently, there's this thing of like, are the players not as good as we thought we were? Or is the manager not as good as we thought they were? And that kind of starts to transcend into conversation of different people's opinions. I'm of the view that the players are better than Spurs are performing at. And you watch the last 2 fixtures where Spurs have got 0-0s and 1-0 wins away from home against Palace and Brentford. We were bailed out by Romero and Van de Ven just making last-ditch, really,
By the way,
good
he should have
tackles.
got the red card, by the way, on Igor Thiago. Like, just establish this.
Okay. Well, it ended up not being a red card and technically a really good tackle then by luck. But it's...
what? He literally took him out. It's a red card. Like, everyone was like...
Okay, fair enough. But either way, those defenders played really well and got us points where we probably would have lost those games normally. So I feel like they've got that core there. I think Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie Spence, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Kudus, they're all good players. Simmons has got a lot of potential. There's no reason why Spurs aren't just 1 or 2 players away and the right manager away from being the 5th best team in the league again and being able to build on something there.
I don't think you're gonna. I'm not sure where. To be honest with you, I actually think that this is gonna be end up in a top 4 thing or top 3 with Arsenal, City, and Liverpool for the foreseeable future. I don't think Chelsea are gonna be there.
The quality of the league at the minute is pretty poor in terms of, like, if you actually look. I think the lower league teams have improved, like the Villa, the Crystal Palace, Newcastle. They are much better than what they have been in recent years. But I think, like, obviously Liverpool have struggled this year. The different things going on at Liverpool. But I think Chelsea, United, Spurs, teams that you would expect them to be a lot better than what they are. So if the one thing, a positive I would be as a Spurs fan, is that, like, I feel the other teams aren't going to push on in the way that, like, you think that they will, because I think overall they all have big issues. So I think that's one thing that you would say that's a positive from a Spurs side.
And just to say to people in the club, I'm not saying Spurs are going to be 5th this season. I'm not mad. I'm saying they've got the potential to get back to a club that finishes around 5th most
I think
seasons.
you can be 5th this
How
season.
how far off 5th are you? Yeah.
We're not
that far. They're not that far.
But the thing is, there will be
is a bit
such
of
a
a
small
shambles.
gap between 6th and 12th this year. I think the gap between that will be minimal. It just shows the quality drop off in the league at the moment in that area. But
What do you think? What do you think? I've seen some of that comment. The quality is good. Stop with this nonsense. I think people think because it's competitive, the quality is good. If that makes sense. Like, it might be competitive in the Conference League, but that doesn't mean the quality is good. Does that make sense? So they can't, like, just because it's competitive doesn't mean the quality is high. So that's where I'm at with it at the minute. But what do you think? Because this is just something I've kind of been thinking about more and more. I think it's something. I don't want to go down to, because people will start labeling. They say, "Oh, because Arsenal win the league," and it was something that was thrown at Liverpool last year as well. And I don't think that's the case. In terms of, I think we're kind of drifting towards, like, it not being as high a standard as it has been. But that doesn't mean that, like, whoever wins the league is a bad team. I think overall the quality of the league is
the
declining.
point you're making, Jamie, is that the teams you're expecting to be better are not.
Yeah,
but those voids are being filled. Like Villa are playing well, aren't they? They're doing well. It's not like they're just there because, Spurs. If Spurs were better, Villa wouldn't be there. They've just come off like 11 straight wins or whatever else, and they're playing some good football. And there's other teams that are. But I know what you mean. You're expecting Spurs, United, typically the traditional big 6, to be a bit better than what they are. There'll be other teams that come in and fill the void and play good football, though.
is that because how the revenue distribution works in the Premier League now? Like we said this before, like 12,000 seat stadium, Bournemouth can go and buy Porto's best striker. Like before, that was just like something Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, and Spurs could go. Spurs in inverted commas could do. Like those 6 clubs could do that, and no one else could. Now the quality players imported are spread across more teams, and 2 or 3 of those teams have built, well-rounded squads in Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. But everyone else is trying to buy their way out of trouble, and they're only able to buy some of the parts, and they can't afford all the parts anymore. And it's just short-term strategy after short-term strategy trying to patch it all together. And it's not as easy as it was now. It's just way harder to compete. You can't keep the Villas at arm's length anymore. Everton is slowly going back.
But I think actually that the level of the league is actually higher than before. The difference, the difference between the teams in 3rd, 4th, 5th are not as big as before. Because if you go back at this stage of the season, you would have the 4th team on like 39 points or something like this. And then there will be a gap between the 4th and the 5th team and the rest of the league, right? Now you look at it from Chelsea down or from Liverpool down. And even though I think Liverpool are going to put separation between them and the rest of the league soon, like the 5th and below, there is not a big gap. You're talking about Chelsea in theory And then the 14th in the league are Brighton on 25. After halfway through the season, 2-game swing can get you from 5th to 15th. Just 2 games. You can get that. So I think it's actually very, very competitive in the middle of the table. Very competitive.
Yeah, well, it is. You're right. It is competitive, but that's what I'm saying in terms of, I think the lesser teams, the non-traditional Big Six are better. They are better, 100%. I think maybe as Jim said, the revenue maybe is being distributed a little bit better, so teams are obviously able to finance and buy better players. But what I'm saying is that, say this Liverpool team, right? This is not the best Liverpool team we've ever seen. This is not the best Man City team we've ever seen. It's not the best Man United team we've ever seen. Not the best Chelsea team we've ever seen. Not the best Spurs team we've ever seen. The quality in those teams has dropped a little bit. Arsenal have pushed on and they're capitalising on it. And listen, I'm one of the first people to admit, I really like this Arsenal team. What I'm saying is that overall, the league, because of, for whatever reason, the bigger clubs are maybe struggling a little bit to find the answers to push on and use their financial resources.
The quality around in the world is lower, Jamie. Like for me,
that's something that you can argue as well, 100%.
Yeah, like we still look at Bayern Munich and they have Michael Olise and Serge Gnabry starting for them week in, week out. Real Madrid, apart from Mbappe, Vinny Jr., with all due respect, wouldn't start. Vinny Jr. might not have started for Valencia in 2004, right? That team that won the league, you know what I mean? For Valencia, it might not start. Like the overall talent in the world is going less. That's why City are having Doku and Marmoush and Savinho and these guys. That's the level. That's the level of football in the world. This is it.
It's not just the Premier League, Mo, is it? You're a Serie A fan, obviously, and like you look at it's such a good league to watch because every year there's so much competition for the title now, and teams that have been previously kind of out of that race are back in it. When there's 4 points between 1st and 5th. Halfway through the season.
The quality reflects what we have in the world now. This is it. This is the quality we have.
People there saying that the Premier League and stuff is like competitive and they're going really far in European competitions. Liverpool, they got knocked out by PSG and they were absolutely annihilated away from home and they were lucky to get a result. Villa obviously got knocked out by PSG. It was Inter against PSG in the final. Barcelona were in the other semi-final. Arsenal were the only team to get to the semi-final of the Champions League. Yes, I know Spurs and Man United got to the Europa League final, but like
that was rubbish.
That doesn't really, but like exactly, like obviously, like they're two of the most like who are they playing along the way? They're like Bodo Glimt, Bilbao. Like I know Bilbao were poor and stuff like that as well, but like the top teams in that sense aren't going far. What I'm saying is like that just shows to me that the top teams in the Premier League right now are poor because they're not going far in the Champions League as well. So like to say that the teams in the Premier League are going far in European competitions, they might be going far in European competitions in the Conference League and Europa League, but at the top of European football, no, they're not. That's not true.
Yeah, because PSG are there. We'll see what happens this season. Let me do this because I want to show Jamie like that. I think he saw it yesterday. Happy New Year to my beloved Mr. Story. Oh, Donna Colin, you're back. Mr. Story, thank you so much, Donna Colin, for this. Quality of the coaches have improved too, right? Quality of the coaches have improved in the world. Systems have improved massively. But Jamie, before I go to the title race and also, I want you guys, I'm not sure if you have listened to this, but listen to this.
People saying that Mo Salah should have been dropped or rested or whatever.
Or sold or finished.
Or whatever. I mean, you know, that's them without Mo Salah. I mean, he's a difference maker. Even when he's not playing well, he can still score goals and all is forgiven, Mo, I suppose.
There's just no structure when he's not there. It's everybody just played anywhere tonight. You know, we had 3 right-backs this evening. You know, it was Bradley, and then it was Frimpong, and then it was Szoboszlai. It's like...
The reason why...
I don't care. Jamie... Mo Salah is washed. I do not care. I'm not frigging going to play him. I do not care what you... I know you like him, Mo. Yeah, maybe he can go to
Inter. He loves him.
No, he's finished. And he had towards the end of the latter stages of last season, you can see the drop off there anyways. Neil and I predicted already in our podcast, this will be the year where he drops off. And we also said Van Dijk will drop off this season. No, he's had his chance to play and he's played so poorly. Yeah, you can say he missed Trent Alexander, but he's just not the same player. His legs are gone. He's finished.
I think there's a big narrative around Salah right now, and I was looking at some of the numbers. If Salah stopped playing football on 25th of May after Liverpool won the league, he would have the same number of goals as Saka and Palmer in 2025 combined. 11 goals. So like the fact that people are saying Salah has dropped off in comparison to other players in the Premier League, yes, he hasn't been 100%. He hasn't been the player that we've seen last year, but you're comparing the best ever season that he's ever had and saying that's a drop off. If that's a drop off to say 15 goals that he has this season, still 15 goals.
Saka hasn't improved in the last couple of years. Cole Palmer's been injured for 3, 4, 5 months this year.
They played. No, it's not true. They played 57 games between them in 2025. The injury thing is they have had injuries. Who would you take? 57 games.
Who would you take right now? Saka, Palmer, or Salah?
Good question.
I would take Saka.
I know.
He's playing in the better team.
Salah would be bottom of my 3.
Me too.
Yeah, but that's okay. I don't mind.
He's got the same
that.
output. No, but what I mean is, no, it's not a shot at you. It's more just a case of, output. Yeah, Salah's still scored goals this season, isn't he? He's still, he's picked up a couple of pens and he's scored a couple from open play, and he's also scored in the Champions League. But the eye test tells you overall Salah's been poor, not just compared to last season, his form last season. He's been poor. So McManaman and Michael Owen can say what they want, all is forgiven, Salah come back, look how crap we are without you. But you were terrible with him as well, weren't you? He's only just gone.
Mm.
You went on a run of
since he's been dropped. I know people are going to say, like, we're undefeated now in 8, and we played some terrible teams, and I think you have to take that into account. The context matters in that sense. But they're saying, to go back to what Owen is saying, is that he's in there, he'll score the goals and stuff. He wasn't doing that. He wasn't delivering when he was in the team, and we were conceding 3 and 4. That's why he was taken out. So I think, listen, I still think Salah has a place in this Liverpool team. I would like to see him. Like, I think he could play as a 2 up front, and you still have the 4-man midfield. I think he could do that role where he's not playing out on the right-hand side. He's not being expected to defend. He has played that role before, and I think he will get opportunities. It's like when you have like Ronaldo or like players when they're getting to a certain age, they just need to be in the right moment at the right time. They don't need to be doing all the dirty work, and it's about building something around them if they want to do that. But I think the likelihood is that Liverpool will just try and get top 4 this season, get to the summer. Salah maybe will want to go, and he'll get the send-off that he deserves because he is a Liverpool and a Premier League legend. And I don't think it's obviously not the way that you would want it to end, but listen, it is what it is. Football doesn't have fairy tale endings all the time.
I just think Mo Salah's a whiny little bitch. The only fucking time that he jumps on to have an interview is to moan and cry and get a new contract. He can do one. Come on, Jamie. You don't want to keep him for another year. Let's be honest. Just be honest.
The thing is, Mark, you and I do disagree on the. We both predicted Mo Salah's downfall or having a poor season this season, but he's got a history of this, hasn't he, Mo? He does this after signing a new contract. When you see Mo Salah, his body's like still a temple, isn't it? Like, he's still fit. His first touch seems to have eluded him a bit this season, but also that whiny point is a fair point from Mark. It's like, Mo, get on the pitch and do what you can do, because for whatever you can say he's washed, he's 33, 34, whatever he is, he's still better than what he is now. And I don't think he's going to age badly. Like, I'm not saying he's going to do what Cristiano Ronaldo's done, but he looks after himself, doesn't he? He's not a Wayne Rooney at 32, 33, just absolutely physically done. But that's even worse. I think it's even worse. I think Mo should be playing better if he's got the physical capabilities to do so. I don't know what it is.
I think like when you look at him, I agree with you. He's like unbelievable.
But I think that's the pace in the game. He's still got
I know, yeah. But I think it's more when you get a little bit older. It's not physically you might still look good, but like it's like Ronaldo. Ronaldo still looks unbelievable. You just start to lose some of those like split second decisions, or like you're mentally you know what you need to do, but your body is just like that tiny bit slower, and that's why defenders maybe get that yard in. Do you know what I mean? And they're able to nick the ball off him. Or I think he's trying to sometimes do things in his head before his body is able to compensate to do the thing that he wants to do. So I think, I think definitely by his standards, this season hasn't been good enough, but I think you could look at every Liverpool player and you could say that maybe other than maybe one or two. to quote him, he said that he's getting scapegoated. I think that we're scapegoating him now because we're talking about it more since the interview. But I think there's underlying issues in this Liverpool team that we're not talking about. If it's a case of we're just talking about Mohamed Salah and that he's the issue.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you something about Mohamed Salah.
And you
I want to say something about Mohamed Salah. But I don't know what I did to you, Mark. He doesn't talk to the media because he's not asked to talk to the media. He actually mentioned that plenty of times in Egypt, that they don't ask him to talk to the media. They didn't make him captain or vice captain. That is a choice by the club, by the way. It's a choice. The club didn't want him to talk to the media. They didn't want him. So he's doing his job, winning them title. He's doing the job, carrying the team to a title last season. He is the club legend, like Gerrard, like the rest. This season, he hasn't been himself. He didn't play well. But now in hindsight, we have to admit that it wasn't about Mohamed Salah. Because Wirtz yesterday was absolutely terrible. McAllister looked awful, right? Like most of the players look absolutely terrible. Arne Slot, in my opinion, he's a manager that can't find a system to actually be defensively solid. So he's choosing not to play the wingers. And now he's playing Wirtz on the side where he should have been playing Wirtz in the 10. And he's still stacking the midfield because he can't find the system. I don't think it's on Mohamed Salah. And yes, his form has dropped. So as the other Liverpool players. Liverpool have not been beaten in 8, right? But if you watch Liverpool play football, it's dire. It's dire. It's awful. Defensively, they look more solid. By the way, defensively, they look more solid. Why? Because I think it's easy for coaches to actually stack the midfield and actually be compact and say, I want to defend. They did it against Inter, right? They came to the San Siro and they were like, yeah, we're gonna defend heroically. We're gonna be fantastic. By the way, there is a lot of people that can defend great. The hardest part in football is to defend when you are on top. Is to defend when you control the game. That's what top teams do. That's what Liverpool used to do under Jurgen Klopp. Press so high and commit players forward, but still be able to hold your line, defend well, close the spaces. That's what good coaches do. But he's not able to do that on this slot, right?
So it's his fault. You think the drop off in Liverpool's form this season is Arne Slot's fault?
No, it is my fault. It's my fault. Of course, it's Arne Slot's fault. Like, who do you think fault it is? When I got McAllister not playing well, when I got Kirkes cannot be utilized, when I got Robertson is getting worse, when I got Konate is getting worse, everyone is getting worse, bar the guy that bases his game on running and he's still running, which is Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai look good because Szoboszlai's game is based on athleticism, right? So he runs around. He looks great on the pitch, right? Curtis Jones in the only saving grace. I love Curtis Jones. I like him. He's a very good player. The rest of them, Gravenberch, look lost. Can't pass the ball to save his life. Cody Gakpo is turning into a dribble, nothing, right? That's Cody Gakpo. Alexander Isak didn't play well, injuries or whatever. Ekitike plays well some games. I saw Ekitike yesterday drop deep to occupy the 10 area. Why? So why did you buy Wirtz? Why is Ekitike dropped to be the 10? Why is he dropping deep? Why? Well, anybody could have done that. It's Arne Slot. I don't think he knows how to set up. Jamie, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. He knows how to set up a balanced system. And Liverpool Football Club, the players they have, they should be on top. Right? Not they should be a team that control games, that dominate, that dictate where the ball is going next. They aren't.
I think to pin it all on Salah is a simple thing to do because it feels like stacking a manager is probably the only thing that you can make a change in a football club during the season. But what I would say is that I think individually players aren't performing. Like you're saying about McAllister. McAllister has been terrible since the end of the season as well, end of last season as well, and the start of this season. Something's going on with him. I don't know what it is. Individually, players have been poor. Konate, let's just talk about Konate because he's been in the team last season and this season. He's making individual errors. Like that Slot can't compensate for. He can't compensate when he's just like giving the ball away, making a stupid tackle against Leeds and giving away a penalty and putting us under more pressure. That's not on Slot.
His head was turned by Madrid.
Potentially, that could be something. But then you're like looking at the recruitment. So like we've sold, obviously Trent wanted to go. Robertson, you're bringing in Kirkhouse and Frimpong to replace them. I think the drop off in quality in those two alone is very hard to replace. Robertson, I know, is getting a little bit on, but Kirkhouse hasn't looked at it. He's looked better in recent games, but they're progressive ball carriers, whereas Trent and Robertson were progressive ball passers. They've moved the ball forward and get Liverpool on the counterattacks very quickly. They're very different types of profile of players. So either they were trying to change into a different type of team, or they bought the completely wrong profile of player. And I think that's why you brought in Wirtz, to try and change how we wanted to play. But he has obviously not adapted to the physicality of the Premier League. And then Alexander Isak is just a completely, I don't know what's going on, up until the injury at least. So like there's a lot of things going wrong. And then you'll come on to Slot. And listen, I think he deserves a lot of credit in the bank. And Mo, me and you disagree on a lot of on managers and when you should sack them and when you shouldn't. I know we do. But like managers, I think we move to sack managers very quickly for the wrong reasons. And
I'm not saying he should be sacked anymore. I'm not saying he should be sacked.
Okay,
I'm just saying that this is his fault.
Yeah, okay,
that's what I'm saying.
But before you'd said that, and I disagreed with you, and I still disagree because I think he will get until the end of the season to try and change around. The one thing I did a video on this yesterday. I'm worried about Slot now because Liverpool, and you've touched on it there in terms of the way we're playing more defensively. And to quote Owen when he was doing a podcast with Rio Ferdinand, it's easier to knock a house down than to build one. So like Liverpool right now, they're defending. They want to sit in, they want to defend, they don't want to concede goals, and they have done that. They're not conceding goals. They have clean sheets. But going forward, unless they have a little bit of brilliance from Wirtz, from Ekitike, they look toothless. And that is an issue. That is an issue for Arne Slot. He's playing with fear now that he doesn't want to concede goals in the way that he did against, say, Forest, Crystal Palace, PSV. And when you're a Liverpool manager, playing for a draw is not good enough. You'll very quickly lose the fans. Some fans I know have already turned, if you're not giving them something to cheer when they go to Anfield. So like that game against Leeds, I was sitting there the last 30 minutes. I was like, I'm more worried about Leeds getting a winner than we are going to go on and win the game, because we don't look like we're going to create anything. We don't look like we're going to score. And if you're playing in that way, you're going down a slippery path and that's where I come to Arne Slot. But I don't pin it all on Arne Slot. I think there's a lot of issues, as I just highlighted, that are going wrong at Liverpool. And to pin it all on him, I think is just it's a lazy answer.
I'm going to tell you, it's not only a lazy answer. And I said that many of times. There are other aspects of the game that I don't think he's doing well, which is mental preparation for the games. I don't think he's preparing these players mentally for the games. Anybody that play professional sports in any capacity, or even it's you going to the games, it's you preparing, you telling yourself that you're going to win this game, you going into tackles with conviction. I think that is part of the problem at Spurs. That is part of the problems at Man United, right? And I think now he isn't preparing the players well for the games, Jamie. The players aren't convinced that they are the top players that they were before. They are afraid of making mistakes.
What do you mean in terms of preparation? Because
I'm gonna tell you,
I don't know. I'm not sitting down in their pre-match talk and like understanding what the message is. But like you don't know you don't know what they're saying. You don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know. That's why I don't know what I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm seeing.
No, but you can see what you can see on the pitch, but you don't know.
And I know from experience. I know from experience. I know from playing football. I know the facts are when you play, and I'm going to tell you something about this. Conviction and in you convincing yourself about something is a big part of execution, right? Because there is an extra 10-20% about that, how you go into a tackle, how you intercept, your reading of the game. That's all mental preparation, Jamie, for the games. It's all mental preparation for the game. The execution, and I'm going to tell you something about this when you play football. There are a lot of players that's actually facts, actually. There are a lot of players, when they play the game scared of making mistakes, they won't play well. But when they play convinced, like, I'm going to do the right thing, I have my position in the team, they play well. I think a lot of Liverpool players now are playing with a scary part inside them that if I make the mistake, I'll be scapegoated. If I make the mistake, I'll be slaughtered in the media. They aren't confident in themselves. Confidence is a big thing in football, in dribbles, in shooting, in tackles, in everything. And I don't think your players are confident. And that comes from the mental preparation of the games. I think that is a big part of football matches. It's how you prepare your team. It's all about, well, people talk about Real Madrid, for example. Real Madrid, as a football club, the managers always tell the players, you're the best club in the world. You are there to win. That is a big part of how you play the sport, actually. It's how you play the sport. That's why certain players work in big clubs and certain players don't. It's about their confidence in themselves.
But it's very different telling, world-class players they are world-class, go and do it, than it is walking in at, another club without world-class players and being like, you're incredible, go out there and show me what you're worth. I think you get different outcomes. But Mo, back to the point you made earlier on this, though, is it really, are we saying that coincidentally all at once, Arne Slot has been exposed as a manager who's not as good as we thought he was? Thomas Frank's a rubbish manager we didn't think as good as he thought he was. Amrin ends up being, I was saying all these managers ended up just being subpar who can't get the best out of their teams.
Yes.
Or is there actually another world as well here in which the mid-table got a lot stronger? Sunderland come up and signed 15 players, for goodness sake, as a newly promoted team.
So why are Arsenal and Man City winning games then, Jim?
And then what I'm saying is the clubs that were maybe 5-10% ahead of that mid-table are now sucked into the mid-table and just muchness. But the teams that were 20-30% ahead have held their position there. They've held the gap. But everyone else has been sucked in. And it's gone from a top 6 or 7 to a top 3. And everyone else is just fighting, desperately. And
let me ask you something. Are you telling me that Leeds is the same level as Liverpool? Are you telling me Wolves can press Liverpool? Are you telling me that? Is that what we're saying here?
Liverpool will finish in the top 6 this year. They'll finish ahead of.
They're going to finish it. Liverpool will finish third.
Yeah, exactly.
So much talent in there. They'll finish third.
Yeah, so they're miles
and they will tell us. And I know that some Liverpool fans will tell us it's success because he turned it around.
Yeah. But
I know some Liverpool fans.
How can you say that Liverpool are going to be third? How can you say that? They've lost so many games this season. You've just rambled on about how bad they've won their games, but they're playing so bad. And now you're telling me, they're going to finish third.
Who's going to be third? Who's going to be third?
Salah coming back.
Who's going to be third, Mark? So you tell me.
I'm not the one saying, Mo. You know what? They're going to be finishing third.
Hold on.
Based on what?
Mark, forget. I will tell you based on what, but before I tell you based on what, I want to hear who you think is going to finish third.
Aston Villa.
Okay, let me tell you why Aston Villa will not going to finish third.
Okay.
Aston Villa don't have the squad depth. Once the Champions League comes back, I don't think Emery and the players will be able to handle the games coming thick and fast for them.
Have a look at their records. Every time they've played in the Champions League, they've won their following game in the Premier League.
I was going to follow up with this. The underlying metrics for Aston Villa doesn't tell actually the whole story. Aston Villa are in a fourth position in the league in terms of the underlying metrics. So it will catch up to them. I actually said that before, but let me just repeat it to the people. Let me tell you the people in the back, actually, how Aston Villa are in the league, right? In terms of like the stats, right? In terms of position, Aston Villa are 8th. In terms of clean sheets, Aston Villa are 9th, right? In terms of goals per game, Aston Villa are 5th. In terms of XG, Aston Villa are 13th. In terms of shots on target, Aston Villa are 8th. In terms of big chances created, Aston Villa are 12th, right? Accurate passes per match, Aston Villa are 10th, right? Accurate crosses per match, Aston Villa are 19th. Touches in opposition's box, Aston Villa are 15th. Okay, all of these are underlying metrics that are teams that are dominant in the league. That's how you show your dominance, right? You might miss a lot of chances about this. So all these numbers, Mark, logically speaking, will have to catch up to them.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. Now answer me this, yeah? Apart from that last game against Arsenal, how many games have they won before that? With all those special metrics that you've just mentioned, how many games have they won in a row?
Against Man United, they weren't the better team and they won the game. Definition of unsustainable Aston Villa. The definition of unsustainable Aston Villa in this league. That's the definition. When we say the word unsustainable, we look at the underlying metrics and how you're winning games and look and say, yeah, this is very unsustainable because you aren't creating the numbers to get these results. So you're getting the result by converting a one chance in a game, by luck, by your goalkeeper pulling a world-class save. You know what I mean? By a last-ditch tackle. That's what you are doing, right? And these are not sustainable. What's sustainable in a 38 game league, Mark, is dominance, is ball position, it's controlling games, it's authority on games. All the teams, apart from Leicester, which is an outlier, most of the teams that won the league were a dominant footballing side. That is what is happening.
Jamie,
Mark.
do you think that Liverpool are going to finish third?
You
have to put money on it.
No, I think four. I think they'll finish fourth.
Who's going to finish third?
I think I do think Aston Villa might. I think what will happen is, listen, I think Liverpool could finish third, but this is what I'm saying about like the quality. Like I think I think Aston Villa might drop off. But I don't
have to drop off.
Yeah, because I think they are. Like listen,
they will.
The reason they've gotten to where they are is because they won 11. Like they won what was it, 7 games in a row in the Premier League. Like that, 11 straight in all competitions. So 7 in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So that's 21 points when everyone else around them, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, they were like dropping like flies. So they capitalised when all the other teams are poor.
So you still picking Aston Villa's third.
But just because listen, with this Liverpool team, and most Liverpool teams are going to look at it like. Or most Liverpool fans are going to be realistic. You don't know what Liverpool team are going to show up. And yes, they have quality in terms of individual players. And I think if you were to look at just a team sheet, you would say this Liverpool team definitely has probably better individual players than Villa. But like what they're showing right now, Villa are a better team. And things can change. Football can change quickly. But I just think right now, Villa are a little bit more compact. But I think they will peel off a little bit. And that's only natural. But I don't know if Liverpool will capitalise. I don't know if Liverpool will capitalise.
They will fall away, partly because of what Mo's saying. Listen, you can't keep running away from the numbers, right? They are outperforming every metric. It will catch up with them over 30. That's why you cannot fluke a 38-game season. You can fluke a Champions League.
Third, Neil?
Probably Liverpool, but I'll tell you why. Yeah, the one thing you guys missed out.
What are you trying to clip us or something? What is going on?
Aston Villa, because of what Mo said, and we spoke about this, Mark, on our podcast, yeah, they are outperforming their numbers at the moment. It's not sustainable what Villa are doing, but also, I think you boys mentioned they're in the Champions League. They're not in the Champions League, yeah. They're in Europa League, which we know what Emery's like. They're going to go deep. The squad, everything's going to catch up with them because they will go deep in the Europa League. I think they're going to win it, personally. I think they should win the Europa League. Europa League's terrible, and I think Aston Villa are good enough to do so. But that will also have an impact on their form in the Premier League. Their squad isn't deep enough. And Emery does have a habit of tailing off towards the back end of a Premier League season. He did it at Arsenal. He did it last season where, no offense, Mark, but they should have finished above you last season. They threw it away. They were 4th going into the last game of the season. You were 6th and you jumped him. And Emery's got a habit of doing this. He did it at Arsenal. He's top 4 the whole season, and then he bottled it to Jim.
There'll be a period this season where they go 5 games without a win in the league. I think there'll be a period of that. Some form like that. Let's just say it's 4 or 5 games where they're in Europe. They're prioritising Europa League, and it's not all Villa's fault. It doesn't mean like Villa are rubbish, by the way. They're a really good side, and they're doing great, but they are penalised with the FFP and PSR structure to a point that it doesn't allow them to build a squad as big as they would like, and I think they should be allowed to do. They should be allowed to have more.
That's
another
right,
thing. But because of that, I don't think they'll have the squad depth, and they'll get into Europa to compete in both. And at one point of the season, they have to go, the league's going to have to be deprioritised here. Let's try win the Europa League, because Emery's done it before, and that will be his priority.
Big up T, actually. Good evening to the panel, Unai. Bro, I'm going to tell you something. But I saw that Unai Emery is better than Mikel Arteta, and they're going to finish above Arsenal. That's what they said. People said. I bet that's what you said, Mark, that Aston Villa will win against Arsenal at the Emirates.
No,
Neil, did he say that?
No, but he did say he does think Emery's better than Arteta. I don't know if you said that.
I did say that. That's true.
Did you say Aston Villa going to beat us? Maybe you did. I can't remember now.
Don't try. I'm
gonna get the clip. So let me do these 2 super chats before I actually just the last part. Just talk about Arsenal for a bit. The quality is higher. Premier League teams at Palace, Bournemouth level could compete for Conference League, Europa spots in leagues like La Liga, Bundesliga, League One. You're just sold to your team dropped off.
But like, we're just at the going through, right? We're talking about how bad Liverpool are. They could potentially finish 3rd. Okay.
I've got to check, guys.
Big up Jim. Big up Jim for being also big up Jim. Thank you.
So like, how bad Liverpool are, and they could potentially finish 3rd. And I think this is what I'm saying. I think the teams lower down in the Premier League they've improved, and that's why the Europa League, the Conference League, they're going to go far. Like, let's not kid ourselves either. Chelsea won the Conference League because like it's Chelsea in the Conference League. Do you know what I mean? That's why they won it. And the teams in the Champions League, the Liverpools, the Aston Villas, the who was in it last year? It was Man City. Arsenal got to the semi-final. Man City got knocked out. Man City didn't even make it to the knockout stages. Do you know what I mean?
And City got thrashed by Real Madrid.
They got trashed by Real Madrid. So like the teams at the top of the Premier League, the teams that we're used to seeing have dropped off. And Arsenal, they have improved. Arsenal have improved. Like the Arsenal are a really good team. I think they could potentially win the Champions League this year. And they should go on and potentially win the Premier League. I think they're the best team right now. They're the most well-rounded team. What I'm saying is, the Man City, the Liverpool, the Chelsea, the Spurs, the Man United, they have all considerably dropped their levels. And that's why they're in the mix with all these other teams that have improved and are competing. The competitiveness in terms of all those teams around is good. It's in that is good. But what I'm saying is the overall quality has dropped because, like, if you inevitably have all of the best teams in the Premier League going for the Champions League, that means the quality is really high because they push the ceiling higher of the Premier League. But if they drop, then the level of the whole league comes down with it.
Coming back and saying, no one wanted to talk about the league quality when City was busy dominated for almost a decade. What about then? Only when Arsenal is top, right?
No.
So did you win the league, Jamie, last season because the league was weak?
No, yeah, well, I think there was I think the teams are. Yeah, I think the teams that I think Arsenal dropped off, or Arsenal, they obviously had injuries and stuff like that. They weren't as competitive as they had been. Man City obviously had a huge drop off, which allowed Liverpool to step in. Like Liverpool, they had to obviously do certain things to win the league. They went unbeaten in 27 league games, which obviously helped them to win the league. But overall, the other, like, there was Man United were 16th and 7th, or what, they finished 15th, and Spurs finished 17th, like nearly in the relegation. Like the overall quality of the league did drop last year included. So like if you want to say that Liverpool didn't win the best Premier League of all time, and that means my narrative is right, well then yeah, Liverpool didn't win the best league of all time. I'm not saying that there's not a good team in the Premier League in Arsenal, because I think, as I just said, that they could potentially win the Champions League. But like, to go to my point, the overall quality of the Premier League has declined, last year included.
Last year would have been interesting. I mean, the reason you won the league was because Arsenal dropped 15 points, City dropped 20, but that doesn't mean that Liverpool still wouldn't have won the league. Watching Liverpool last season, he did it in second gear because you could. Yeah. So, you know, if you had been pushed, it may have been a great Premier League season, but it happened to coincide with a season where Arsenal, like I say, fell off a cliff, 15 points, but City also fell off an even bigger cliff, didn't they? They dropped 20 points from the previous season. So you won the league with 84 points, but if you needed to get 90...
We probably would have pushed it because we were obviously on holiday for the last 4 games. Yeah, no, 100%. Potentially, but that's... So that, like, if the other teams were better, Liverpool would have been pushed a little bit more, but they weren't, and that's because the quality was lower. You know what I mean?
What about Arsenal, guys? Just quickly, what about the Arsenal win and City dropping points yesterday? Are Arsenal now ahead of City? A lot of people actually flip-flopped last week, actually, before actually the last 2 games. A lot of people said that City now are smelling blood, City are better than Arsenal. A lot of people said that.
They are.
And then after the 2 games, bro, I'm not exaggerating. Most of the podcasts I opened, I saw people saying that, no, City now are going to go and nick it. Arsenal are going to bottle it. Donna Cullen, your super chat is Mr. Story Me 2026. Bring 2 of us closer and closer. Donna, I'm going to tell you something, Donna. How about you go to Jamie Story's videos, right? How about you go to Jamie's, by the way, the football story in the description, Donna. Go and subscribe. Super
She subscribed. She didn't mind as well. It's just a fan, you know?
Yeah, big up.
I love her.
Donna. Absolutely, absolutely. Big up for the support and the super chat. Appreciate you. Big up. You know that one time I had this guy, whatever, I had them on the channel, actually. Genuinely, on a call-in show.
I remember you telling me this before, yeah.
Yeah.
It's some lad, isn't it? It's some lad.
Yeah. It is. But whatever, you cannot assume anybody's genders now these days. Genuinely, you can't. Like, I don't know, bro. Genuinely, you get in trouble here for these things. Big trouble.
Dude, you get in big trouble over here.
You big, massive fucking trouble, bro. Assuming things.
For just using common sense. Hey, never mind.
Well, anyway, so there is a lot of people that actually ruled out, not ruled out. They said that now City are gonna go and win it and nick it. And then after Arsenal won against Villa, they were like, no, we think Arsenal's strong. I think like for me, when I'm looking at these, I'm like, were you surprised that Arsenal won against Villa at home? Like, how bad do you think Arsenal were to not pick them to win against Aston Villa at home? Like, I didn't understand.
They're at home, of course. And you're talking about Arsenal, right? Who people consider are one of the best, if not the best team in club football. So, and they're at home. Of course, they're going to have, they're more likely to win the game.
Exactly this, right? But why did people change their opinion after that game? You should be expecting Arsenal to win, correct? That's how it is.
But yeah, you expect it, obviously. But I suppose it's just like, obviously, with Villa's form. Like, you know what I mean? That's why you're expecting it to be a game. Yeah, you would still expect Arsenal to obviously perform. But some people were saying, listen, Villa had beaten Arsenal, Chelsea, City. Man United, City, Spurs. Like, they'd beaten a lot of good teams. So definitely they had a chance going. I think even in the first half, like, they had some opportunities. If they had to convert, it would have made it a little bit nervous. And I think Arsenal, they showed their power and their quality in the second half. But listen,
can I ask you boys a question?
Yes.
If Arsenal lost to Villa and didn't beat them up 4-1, do City win at Sunderland?
They might.
Maybe, yeah.
They might,
yeah, it's the mentality would be different, wouldn't it? But like, they would feel like there's a chance of like really stamping a marker. But it's one of those things. It's the same thing. It's like they win, and now everyone's like, and City draw, and everyone's like, oh, Arsenal are gonna walk away with it. City aren't in it anymore. Like stuff like that. Like people's narrative completely changes week to week, depending on
week
results.
to week. People change, right? But if you're saying, okay, Arsenal put down,
I have not changed,
and City.
I haven't changed my opinion.
No, I'm talking about people in general. I don't think you have. You've said Arsenal going to win the league.
Can I know why do people change their opinion? Based on why?
You get pivotal moments during. You get pivotal weekends, don't you? Throughout a whole course of a 38-game season.
But currently, as it stands, we haven't. Okay, currently, as it stands, guys, everyone on this panel, Neil, Mark, Jamie, what weekend you thought it was pivotal for people to change their opinion? Like, what happened during this 19 games that maybe you thought that this is the weekend where people thought that, nope, Arsenal are not going to win the league? What game or what weekend?
There was a couple of weeks ago when,
City.
I think when Arsenal played,
we dropped points.
Yeah. And then Neil and I spoke, and we was like, "Yeah, man,
you haven't dropped points at home.
You haven't, apart from City. Yeah, that's the only,
exactly. So Arsenal haven't dropped points at home.
So I think we must have been away, and then the Palace game, people looked at it, didn't they? And City went there and they slapped Palace when Palace were flying high. I know Palace have dropped off since then, so that's one potential weekend. But then the pendulum swings again, so there'll be people looking at this weekend and going, even though there's no City bottle chat, even though you boys have just said City might have beaten Sunderland if Arsenal didn't win, but I don't know, that people look at this weekend because City went and didn't win at Sunderland when there was an opportunity to
which is expected, by the way. It's expected.
I don't know, not with
they were missing a lot of players, Sunderland.
Yeah, that is true as well.
Yeah, but
no one's won there.
I get what you guys are saying, but regardless of this, I expected a resilient Sunderland. That second half low block from hell, I expected it. Like, you know that these teams, the Stadium of Light, and these players are going to be fired up. And I expected it. And I'm like, I said that City might win, but I still thought that, there is a chance that City drop points here because of that.
City should have won. Not by the fact that actually I think they were the better team. I think Sunderland were the better team in the first half against Man City. And if it was, but I expect that type of lack of cutting edge in the final third from Sunderland. What I don't expect is it from City, because City weren't great. Sunderland were better in the first half, but if City create those chances, they were snatching at those chances. Haaland snatched at a chance. Reinders snatched at a chance right at the end. Guardiola was their biggest threat in terms of in front of goal. So there was some snatching going on from City, which to me suggests they were feeling it a bit. I could be wrong, but it was uncharacteristic for Haaland to roll it straight down the middle of the goal. Ruff's had a great game, but a lot of the times Haaland didn't really put it to either side of him, did he? That's not like Haaland. It's not like City. I don't know. It just, to me, City should have won that game. And actually, why didn't they win that game? Did they feel the pressure or not? I don't know.
I don't think they should have won the game. I thought Sunderland should have been 1-2 up in the first half as well. Like Sunderland,
but you expect them not to score. They're missing so many first kids.
No, I see your point. Sunderland, you're expecting them to miss them, but you're not expecting City. That's a very good way to put it. To be honest, very, very good way to put it. Actually, Arsenal, PSG, City, Bayern are the only serious clubs in the world now.
What?
So Real Madrid are serious. So Barcelona are serious. I thought Liverpool are very serious. Actually, that's why they went and spent that much money. Liverpool are serious about retaining the title and winning the Champions League. So I disagree with this.
I think they mean in terms of like the quality of
Liverpool have so much quality. Actually, you have so much quality. I think you have more quality than Man City.
Don't patronize me, Mo. I'm going through the doldrums right now as the season goes on. So don't patronize me.
You are full of
so much quality. You have so much quality.
We did
so much quality. It's unbelievable.
That's why it makes it worse the way we're playing right now.
Exactly that. But in terms of quality, Liverpool
have
so much quality.
But what's Slot supposed? I mean, look, I don't rate. I think Slot is culpable for a lot. I am kind of half in Mo's camp, but the other half of is saying, look, they've had a lot of change. You've had a lot of new players coming in. It's and you could say, well, who bought the players? And Slot one of them or whatever. That's fine too. But you've got a quality squad, but you have got holes through it at the moment. It's difficult. He's trying to find the answers. He's not finding them. I think the media
based on how Liverpool
we're in transition.
You can't say they're a serious club. You can't say that they're a serious club. They've been playing so poor. Liverpool, they've lost so many games. I understand that comment. I think it's quite fair. I see where he's coming from.
Well, come on.
What? As in what? They're not serious. As in what? They're gonna.
A serious club, as in trying to actually likely to win the Champions League, likely to win the Premier League. Do you expect them to win the Champions League?
I don't, but cup competition,
okay,
you know what I'm like. My stance on Champions League is you don't have to be the best team.
Yeah, the best team doesn't always win the Champions League. Exactly. You never know.
Liverpool are not even in the top 5 in Europe.
We have a little bit of history with the Champions League as well, so don't be counting us out. Yeah,
you still ain't top 5 for me on paper in terms of Champions League teams right this season.
So you're not serious then.
You've got the but,
guys. Listen, we'll see how it goes. How are you guys? Can I just ask a question? Is anybody here thinking that Arsenal can drop points against Brentford that way from home?
Bournemouth.
No. You're at Bournemouth or Brentford?
Bournemouth.
All right then. Anybody think that Arsenal can drop points?
No.
No.
I think they should.
No chance.
Never know. They're away, but no. I think they'll do it.
Rice won't play, but I think we'll still have too much.
Yeah, he did. He did actually say something about him. Havertz is there, so you're safe. All right.
Is that a dig? I like Kai Havertz.
I like Kai Havertz now. I think he's going to score goals for you.
Oh, God.
So do I.
What are we doing?
I believe so too.
Shit.
Bro,
let it go.
I swear to I'm going to tell you guys something before we end the show. Chelsea wish they have Kai Havertz now instead of Liam Delap and Joao Pedro up top. They wish.
Yeah, facts. I agree with that. Okay, I agree with that.
Chelsea wish.
But they also wish.
Yeah, I do wish we had.
They also wish to have Nico Jackson.
Go on like Havertz.
Yeah, Jackson.
Take Jackson in a heartbeat.
No.
Anyway,
I'll take Jackson in a heartbeat. So would you.
Well, they want a Champions League winner. Obviously, they want a Champions League winner in the squad.
Yeah, Jackson or that shit.
Guys, any chance Chelsea can pull a draw or a win at the Etihad?
Oh, let it go.
Without Caicedo, no. With Caicedo, new manager bounce, Rosenior,
He's not hired yet.
He's not hired. They're gonna get some guy from like
They're gonna get some. Yeah,
they're getting rolled. They're getting rolled.
We'll see, guys.
So bad.
I want to thank everyone that joined us. The Frenemies podcast, Mark and Neil's podcast in the description. The football story. Also follow. I want you guys to go. If you guys are not following Jamie on TikTok and Instagram. Absolute phenomenal shorts, actually. I love watching these guys. So go and support the football story on the Instagram, and of course the guys. Also the Frenemies podcast. All the platforms are there on the YouTube, so go and support them. Also Spurs are there as well. That's Jim. Of course, if you like Spurs, of course, this is the only channel that talk about Spurs actually now. Currently, as it stands, I will see you guys on MHF with Chelsea Civil War. With Ziad and Mo, of course, along with JG. I'll see you guys there. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. We're out of here, people.
Bye, guys.